行くぞこれ。優勢員音でやるぜ。
Left Hello, hello, love.
And we are live for
How's it
episode
going there,
19
Sean?
of I'm Good.
Oh, that's nice.
We just been live for a couple of seconds, I think past the ending of that song that I'm probably gonna get copyrighted for. But
I've been alive for like 40 years.
this thing's been live for a couple of minutes longer than it probably should have with that song playing when it ended, but oh well, if I get copyrighted on this one, it was worth it. I had to play Hero 2 for the specific podcast because I think it was worth it.
I need a hero. I better not sing it. They might think it's the real song.
I mean, not that song, it's just Hero 2, the one that was
Gotta be
playing.
strong and he's gotta be and he's gotta be fresh from the fight. I need a hero. Ooh, ooh. No, it's not that song.
No, but I remember that song, but I don't know what the name of that song is now.
Hero.
That's literally the name of that song you were singing?
Probably.
You're not helping your cred on the internet here.
Holding out for a hero. That's the name of the song. Bonnie Tyler.
Huh. Well, this is episode 19 of the podcast, and this is the end of the school festival arc, which is what the creator called this arc. Which I'm not totally sure is the creator doing it or the fans calling these certain arcs, but this is the final episode of this arc. Um, this episode highlighted everything that I liked about Jiro. Kyoka's her actual name, her first name, but highlight everything I liked about her. This is the arc that made me really like her a lot. I liked her before, but this is really what solidified it for me. She's like my second favorite like side character. She's my first favorite side character. If you don't count Uraraka, who I count as part of the main cast. But yeah, she's my favorite side character at this point. I know you don't have any
Uraraka
attachments to her, but she's my favorite side character at this point.
is Uraraka.
Uraraka, I count her as the main cast.
Oh, so who did you say?
Kyoka is my favorite side character.
Earphone Jack.
Yes.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's no Froppy, but she's cool.
I would have counted Froppy as a main cast, but whatever. I mean, I guess you're gonna crap all over her now.
I don't know. Froppy's probably not main cast any more than Kyoko is she?
They did more with her. I mean, they done more of all like the side characters who I would have say got promoted to main cast. I think Froppy's in there.
Mm.
I mean, they did more. She was the first side character they did a lot with. Uraraka kind of just came in like at the last minute. No, wait a minute, no. Well, they did a little bit with Uraraka, but they didn't really focus on her. They focused a lot more on Froppy in the first season.
They did, but the series seems to kind of like lose focus on certain characters over time. Like we didn't really see a lot of development with Icy Hot through this whole thing at all, and not even really Bakugo that much.
I don't think we needed in development
in
of like Todoroki. Shoto, his first name. We didn't really need development with him. We've already gone through the development that we needed to see of him.
But we didn't really do anything with Froppy this whole season either, or Uraraka. They were just kind of in the background helping out. Another one that like we haven't seen much activity with for a long time is Ida. Ida seemed like he was going to be a main character for a while, and he's kind of like fallen out of favor.
I feel like you'll probably get more. I mean, I guess my question is, I know you stated over and over again that this is not your favorite season. You think it's the worst of the four, from your standpoint.
But that's not connected to it. I'm just saying that like it just seems like the show has like sort of a transient attitude about like who's who. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of like I don't know, focuses on certain
I think this show does a
really
lot
heavily, and then it focuses on characters really heavily, and then it sort of like moves on to something else.
I feel like this does better than most of the shows I've watched.
Okay.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse, bro. You want to know you know what's worse than what this was doing right here? Let's go back to Naruto, for instance. I brought this up before, but you probably didn't, I guess, understand or you listen to me all that well. But Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, they have a lot of characters. Like in Naruto for part one, you get introduced to all these little kid ninjas, and they do a fantastic job to a certain point, to a certain extent, where we get the chance to see a lot of like characters interact with each other. We see rivalries form that we didn't know existed. Um, Pretty much they actually do a good job of like letting you get to know each character pretty well, and they get to do certain things here and there. You don't really forget about certain people, unless you're like the villains or the side characters that are part of the village, like the nobodies. You get just to know everybody. Part two of that entire series, it just becomes about Naruto and Sasuke, the main two characters. Like everybody else just kind of falls out. I mean, Sakura shows up, and she's a part of like she's a part of the main. She's part of the first arc of the real arc of that part two.
Hmm.
But she ends up getting like thrown in the background. She doesn't even really come back until the Shinobi War, where she's just a part of like, the final attack on the main big bad. And she didn't
Okay.
really even kill it, and she didn't even really capture it. And she just punched her so hard that she stood still for Naruto and Sasuke, the ones that seal her away. Sakura doesn't do
Hmm.
anything. Other characters like Choji, Neji, these other characters don't do anything unless they're in filler. And that's what people really don't like about Naruto Shippuden is the fact that these characters there's so many characters, but they don't do anything unless it's in filler. My
Hmm.
Hero Academia does better. I'm here. I mean, as far as I can tell, if I'm being honest, I can't even tell what's filler and what's not. So I think that's a good thing. I don't know like what's canon. As far as I can tell, everything we've seen has been canon. Nothing has
Hmm.
been like well, except for that first episode of this season. I take that back. That first episode was filler, but all they really did was just recap what we learned from seasons 1 to 3. But
Hmm.
most of it, except for one episode, this entire series has been canon as far as I'm concerned. So that's way better than like 20, 30 episodes of filler in Naruto. It's probably even more than that actually. If I'm being realistic, that was a low ball. So as far as I'm concerned, this show does way better. Yeah, it could definitely use some work, but it does way better than most animes that I've seen. Naruto is just one of them. Dragon Ball Z is another candidate for filler and characters that don't really do anything unless they're part of that filler. And then again, some
Okay.
some characters do some things in main canon, but they don't do a lot. I would say the closest candidate for doing a lot is during the Frieza arc when Piccolo, Krillin, a lot of those characters could fight Frieza, but that there's some circumstances surrounding that I won't go into. But it's just like there are other shows that have done way worse. Now, this won't change your opinion. I'm not really trying to change your opinion. I'm just saying that
Why
from
are
what
you
I've
trying to change my opinion?
from what I've seen from all the stuff I've watched, this
Okay.
show is the show I would least be worrying about characters falling out in the background. Am I concerned? Yes. But am I heavily concerned? No.
I was more kind of explaining like just a general trend it says. It just seems like they spend a little time with one character and move to the next. It just seems like that's part of like what this show do, you know?
I mean, at least they're focusing on characters. The others, like I said before, they give you a character, they don't do anything with them. At least we've gotten something. I mean, shoot, I wasn't even thinking. Not that I really wanted anything for Kyoko, because I've always liked the character. But like the fact that they
Hmm.
even gave her, I guess again in this episode, they give her a little backstory, which isn't a lot. I mean, it's the same thing. It's in the same vein as Uraraka, but it's like less of her wanting to do something for her parents and more of her being afraid of disappointing
Hmm.
them because they spent. You see the little image, and there's an image on the screen right now of her when she's a little kid playing a guitar or something like that with her parents. We've already kind of gotten a good idea of how her parents were because they were the first ones that All Might went to them first to get the AOK for her to move into a dorm, and they seemed really okay with it. They seemed really chill, laid back. So it was one of those things where I guess it's to be expected that they were always this way. Uh, you know, with her as she was growing up, and I also didn't know. I thought her father was the only musician, but apparently her mother is too. I did not know that, so
Uh-huh.
that's interesting. I did not know that. I got some clarification on that. Um, But I think it's kind of like I brought this up before, but I think like one of like Kyoko's like I guess biggest hangups is the fact that she doesn't think her hobby can contribute to Hero Society. But I think this song that she was doing right here, I think kind of like I guess gave her a little background how she was feeling because every word, every lyric, I feel like it was talking to somebody out there in the audience.
Yeah, that makes sense. Their suits, their outfits were so like awkward.
I don't know. I like the male outfits, the female outfits. I'm just gonna be honest with it. Um, clearly, uh, the girl that probably would have caused a huge uproar in that outfit, and she didn't appear in the outfit because she was doing something completely else was Momo. Um, you
Yes.
pro you probably don't know Momo Yagirozo is the crazy. You probably don't know about this, but there's been some uproar in like the fan community. I mean, you probably don't know this, but you probably also know this at the same time. Um, Momo's probably the most developed of all the girls in this show.
Okay.
Probably second to Froppy, but she's the most, and that's not
Thank
even being
you.
funny. I'm not even being funny about that. I think Froppy's got the second biggest boobs in this of these girls too. I think.
Okay.
I'm only using Mineta as a metric here because he's pretty much the one to comment on them. But whatever. Uh, um, he really is the only one who commented on Froppy, so it's just kind of weird. But being the most developed of all the girls here, I'm surprised they didn't try sticking her in that outfit. Um, I think I
So
know.
you think that they actually like
I don't
avoided?
know. I'm gonna sit there and say that maybe the guy made an effort to not put her in that outfit.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go on a limb 1% of a limb saying that maybe it was a
Mhm.
coincidence that she wasn't in that outfit.
Didn't they deliberately pick some people to do stage support though?
Well, I mean, besides Naval Laser and Dendeku, who was part of the main stage support, I mean, Kirishima and Todoroki, but the Todoroki wasn't even in the dance group. He was just there to make a block of ice. That's really what all he did. I don't think he was even dancing. I think he was really there to make a block of ice for Kirishima
Yeah,
to hit. I think what
I
it
don't know. I
came
just
down to is that I don't think people could imagine Todoroki dancing. I think it'd be funny, but I mean that's just because I mean with the way he always is stoically mad all the time, it'd be kind of funny to see him mad dancing. But I mean a lot of them kind of just had character reasons, like Kirishima just wanted to help out in the background, doing something that I
mm,
guess he thought he was. So a lot of characters had character reasons. Other characters who were brought in this, I mean, like I said, Momo had a character reason. She knew how to play the piano. So like I'm pretty sure if it wasn't
mhm.
for that character reason, they probably would have put her in that outfit. Um uh but yeah, the outfit I mean being honest, the outfit was clearly anime sexual. It was like I mean these girls were wearing black tights. I mean
Mhm.
all that really is I mean even though like Ashida was the one in the main forefront of this episode as we seen her in the outfit, but I mean whatever. I mean they even put Froppy in the outfit. And as I said before, probably the second most developed. I mean, her or Uraraka. It's a debate, but I think Froppy might have bigger. I don't know. I would have to defer to Jock for this because he's probably the one looking at it.
I look at Frappies, but not the other ones.
Yeah, I know that's what I said. I had to probably defer to you on Froppy.
Well, she's on the keyboard too, right? So it doesn't that have an doesn't that have it? I mean, she's there. She's just on the keyboard
No,
wearing
when
a
I, and
different
I'm
outfit.
saying the outfit that the girls who were dancing were wearing. I want to say I think they made an
Mhm.
effort to not put Momo in that outfit.
Yeah, I get you. Um, yeah, I would say Frappy's probably bigger.
But yeah, I just saying like there's been a huge outcry of like what people have like what the creator has decided to draw Momo wearing.
Hmm.
It didn't seem to be a big deal of her superhero outfit, but a lot of people are like complaining, and I could see it, in terms of like why can't she wear a little bit more And a lot of the main reason behind that is that her power has to have her skin visible so she can, create things. Some people have actually created some very interesting variations on her outfit, um, still with skin showing. But I think there have been some people who have made costume variants of hers where there were holes in it or something like that, like a hole that was like predetermined to be there, so that way she could make something come out of it. So there definitely are like you know you can make the argument that he's doing it for fan service because she's the most developed of all the girls there. So
Mhm.
clearly that's why she has to show more skin. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, on this episode, like the very beginning, we see I guess going back in the episode, the very beginning we see Gentle and La Brava in jail, and I guess we get a chance to see their end of their little I guess conversation, and also begin a conversation with the cops. Um, I didn't bring this up way before. I'm kind of glad it's happening now. This is the reason why I believe that I think he's gonna come back. And mainly because I know of another character that does come back. Uh, and we've already seen this character, and we just didn't know where they're gonna show up, if they're ever gonna show up again. So, because of that character returning, I'm certain that he's gonna come back. And if anything, Sting could come back too at some point. But you see that the cops apparently know everything about him. Um, Nothing is that he hasn't done anything bad. He's only ever like done videos, shown videos of crime on the street, and then
Mhm.
um tried to do crimes, but always seemed to not be criminal in any way. He hasn't really done anything malicious. Uh, from the looks of it, I think they're gonna have him serve out some time in jail, and then I guess he's gonna try become part of the police force. I guess I don't really know. They're insinuating he's gonna get a chance to be the hero he always wanted to be. Um, it also seems like Labrava isn't gonna do any jail time. I could be wrong, but it's kind of weird that they just have to bring Labrava along and question her. Uh, I thought that was really weird. I don't really know what the purpose of questioning her would have been, because he was clearly just gonna say,
Mhm.
whatever was gonna help Gentle out.
Yeah.
Um,
I,
but yeah,
I I know what you're saying. Like I think that was really interesting the way they kind of like left that open ended. Like they were being really patient with him. They seemed very empathetic about him. They offered him tea, even though it was not fancy tea. They talked about a second chance. The I don't know. It sounded like they're gonna cut like a deal with him of some sort, almost. You know what I mean? It's I'm really curious to see where that goes because I wouldn't mind seeing him again. I just don't think he should own his own arc.
I don't think he really owned his arc, because this wasn't called the Gentle arc. This was just called the School Festival. He just happened to be involved in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the Chisaki thing. Uh, I don't even know what they called that arc that he was in. But he wasn't like centerfold of it all. He just happened to be there. He just happened to be a villain who was going to happen to break into UA at the time this festival was happening. He didn't really care. I guess speaking of that too, I guess I skipped over a huge part. After all this settled down and Wild Dog had arrested um Gentle before the cops got there, and then who was it? Was it Aizawa at the gate talking to Wild Dog? Was that somebody else? I forgot the name.
What are you talking about?
Well, when Wild Dog had I was questioning Izuku or questioning Gentle about what was happening, what he was doing, where if he was with anybody else. A phone call happened,
Mhm.
and it happened on Ectoplasm's phone.
Yeah.
Somebody was calling him, and I forgot the name of the hero that was calling.
Oh,
Oh,
did it matter? It was just a hero calling in to see what was going on, right?
I feel like it was a hero that we knew. Was it?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe it doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's gonna bother me until I know I thought maybe it was a uh President Mike. I don't really know, but somebody was calling to see if they had any reason to cancel the festival. Wild Dog covered
Oh yeah.
Wild Dog covered Izuku's tracks there, saying that somebody was trying to come in there, but he turned himself in. He don't get it either, and after all that, Wild Dog pretty much hammers into Zuko again, like every other hero does. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? If you trusted our hero, if you trusted us heroes, we could have gotten this. We could have fight this guy together. This and that. I guess it was more chastising, and I guess in a real way. And then he pretty much, in his own way, tells him to go back and enjoy the festival. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Izuku remembers that he forgot something, ends up running back, picks up the girl's video camera, which I guess is something I didn't really understand there, because I honestly, for a minute, I thought
The person who asked him to report was that lone gun-looking guy.
Dang it, the guy with the quirk that he can hit anything from wherever he is.
Yeah, Snipe.
Was that his hero name?
Yeah, Snipe. His quirk is homing.
Okay.
Looking at
I guess he really didn't matter that
gallery
much.
here.
I guess he really didn't matter much, so
No,
I didn't
I didn't
remember
think
him.
that mattered that much. The with the thing where he yells at Midoriya, though, he's not actually mad at Midoriya, and because then he turns around and starts howling and like at the other guy. And Ectoplasm says he only gets like that when he's really mad.
I still think he was mad at Deku, and I just took that as like when he gets really,
I thought he was
really
lecturing him
mad.
because he had to lecture him, because you're supposed to lecture a student for using their powers when they're not supposed to be. But that he wasn't really mad. He was just kind of like doing his teacherly duty.
He's not a teacher, is he?
He works at UA, so he's got to be an instructor.
No, that doesn't really mean that. I mean, because like
they're all instructors there.
Not every hero. I don't think.
I think so. Why would he not be? Ectoplasm is, and he's out there doing security.
Well, they use Wild Dog has only ever been shown whenever they are doing like huge high security things. Because, like you said before, when he gets really mad, he can't speak English.
That, like, we know are teachers, but we haven't actually seen them teach.
No, what I'm saying, like Wild Dog, doesn't seem like the type of guy that would be teaching, because he like they brought up that like at certain points he just can't speak English, and I can't imagine that being a good type of teacher. Just being honest.
When he's really mad, yeah.
You're dealing with high school students. You're gonna get really mad all the time.
Is it Hound Dog or Wild Dog? It's Hound Dog.
This was new. I call him Wild Dog. Is it Hound Dog? Hold up.
He's the lifestyle guidance counselor.
Well, he's not a teacher. He's a counselor.
Okay, but he's on the staff as far as guiding the kids and everything else. If he's not a literal teacher, a guidance counselor is still kind of what I was talking about. He's not like groundskeeper or anything like that,
I wouldn't say he was a groundskeeper. I would just, because most of the time whenever we seen this guy was when they were talking about high security around like UA in a huge area.
Okay, like, but he's a guidance counselor.
I never seen him do a guidance counselor duties. I'm not saying he hasn't done them. And still another thing too, being a guidance counselor, it's gotta be a stressful job. I'm pretty sure this guy has howled at a couple of students.
Yeah.
Mineta. Moving on.
For a Hound Dog, we should do the rest of the podcast in barking noises.
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that because of my voice.
Okay. Wait, do you have coronavirus?
No.
Then why is your voice all scratchy?
No, I'm not going to do that in fear of losing my voice.
Where would you put it if you lost it?
We're not doing this, Jock. We're not playing these games. We're not playing these games. But yeah, he hashes it out with Deku. Deku goes back to the school to after getting his belongings and getting stuff that he said he was gonna go get for the performance. Then they start off everything. They start off the festivities, and then at 10 o'clock, which is apparently is when this was happening. I don't think they ever mentioned it. I thought they said Deku had to be there at 9 o'clock. So I assumed that's when it was going to be happening. I guess I was wrong for assuming, but Prince started the tournament, and before not the tournament, but before the festivities, we see all the students. We also see two students specifically who are looking to critique 1A's performance, because they were there not to enjoy it. They were there to get mad and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
we see them specifically walk in and see them wherever they're placed in the audience, which they do that on purpose because later on we see their expressions after the performance is ended. But essentially the song that I started this podcast off with is the song "Hero 2," which is what Kyoka Jiro sings. And throughout the performance, we see a lot of characters. We see Eri, we see Togata, we see the two students who are from the other classes in the school. They were moved to tears throughout the performance. I guess the funny thing too, to start this entire thing off, was we see Bakugo essentially explode the drum to begin the
Yeah, let's
performance.
kill him with music.
Kill it with music. Boom. I was like, Jesus, Bakugo. Like, calm down with the natural gristle drumsticks. My goodness, you could kill somebody back there.
Somebody needs a little Prozac. That's all I'm saying.
I think he doesn't need Prozac. But this the first the performance happens. We see all the dance moves. We see a couple. We see quite a few characters from Froppy to Zero is his hero name. The guy with the tape hands. The guy with the laser. We see Deku like flying, seeing him flying into the air, and the swirling of his laser. I guess doing like a disco ball, like little effect. While that's happening, I believe we see Kirishima and with a block of ice that Todoroki made, pound away at it, making like little like sparkle snowflakes that fall on the crowd below him.
I thought Zero with the shooting the tape out into the audience was cool because that kind of implied that he's learned a long range attack too.
I don't think that was tape. I think that was just Yagirozo's like poppers. Does Zero actually send out tape?
There was one scene where I thought he was specifically shooting tape out from his arms, but it was colored streamers instead of real tape.
No, because that was Yagirozo who did that.
Are you sure?
She had poppers. I saw her arm with the poppers come out, and she sent those streamers out.
Oh, okay.
Let me go back to that scene just to make sure. Maybe there is some tape in there. But I definitely know for a fact I've seen Yagirozo do popper like effect on her arm.
I would have much rather liked it if it was the tape guy.
He might have been in there. Let me just go and correct myself. But he couldn't make colored tape. He could only make one type of tape, and it came from his elbows. There's no way he could do that. I don't think he even mentioned he could change the color of his tape. A really interesting ability to have, but I don't think he mentioned he could change the color of his tape.
That's what I meant, though. That would have been a cool little, like, subtle way to say that he was using his powers really well.
But what would coloring his tape do? If he could do that, hypothetically.
Nothing, but it just shows that he's really advanced his skills.
Okay. Bakugo explodes the drum set. Dancing starts. I forgot the Tokiyama was on the guitar. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually love that too. He's a perfect bass player personality. Bass players are always that like quiet, chill but intense guy.
See lasers. Tailman catches the guy. Yes, I mean, I forgot to mention that Deku does disappear after sending Naval Laser into the air. As part of like the special effects crew. And we see Froppy, Yagirozo. I guess it's like smaller details, like Mineta with his own harem, and which I thought was pretty funny because the way they react. Oh, wait a minute, Sarah is up there. Okay, now what did he do? He shot out tape.
What's the time signature of where you are?
10:39. Sarah is up there with a Kirishima and Shoto. He is up there.
Yeah.
He shoots up tape, but I don't remember seeing the white tape in there. What did he do?
That's what I meant, though. Did he shoot colored tape?
No, because that was all Yagirozo with the colored poppers thing. Because
Yeah,
as soon
you're
as
right. You're right. You're right.
as soon as like at 10:43, you see her pop that stuff out. But
Out of her
Cyril,
arm instead of her
Cyril,
stomach, which is unusual.
no, it's not really unusual. Her quirk is her body, not specific parts of her, not specific parts of her. See,
Yeah.
we see that. We see. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, that's what was happening. That's what I thought. Cyril's tape was meant to hold Naval Laser into the air. That's what he was there for. Which is kind of really disappointing. Yeah, he's swinging. Deku is swinging Naval Laser in the sky.
Yeah. I would
But
have loved it if he was shooting streamers, though. That would have been fun.
I'm still confused how you would have done that. That doesn't make any sense to the anatomy of his elbows. Then again, this is a show, whatever. But still,
Mm-hmm.
I would like an explanation. I wouldn't care that much, but I still like the explanation to how he could change the color of his tape.
I guess it would have been fun, though. It would have been fun to like show that he'd been making progress. A little detail that they could have kind of slipped in there.
I really
That's
kind of
alright.
know he's been making progress because he was like the most like. I think I remember in season 2 or season 3 or something like that. It was brought up that like when it came to like traversing, I guess like highly hilly areas, like he was very good at that. Like I guess when it came down to a race between him and Bakugo, they expected him to be the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
So Sarah has been shown that he's been very good. But yeah, progress would have been awesome. But yeah, we go to, as I said before, we see a little during this performance. You see a little bit of Kyoko's little bit of backstory on why she's at UA. I guess a small detail I didn't really get because the manga didn't really do a good job of it. It was like she wanted to be a hero instead of a magician. She thought it was always cool, but she didn't want to. She didn't want to disappoint her parents, and also she didn't want to. I'm gonna pause it here with Eri smiling, but she didn't want to waste the training that her parents gave her on instruments because she thought music was cool too. So she was fighting between
Yeah.
whether she should be a musician or should she be a hero. My idea, and ultimately what I believe that was going to happen to Kyoko when she is out of the school, she is going to be a pro hero, but she's also going to be doing like musicianing on the side. So she'll be like a pro hero that's really well known for her concerts. Because we got people like that Snake Lady. She's a pro hero too, but she's like a model, and people know her from her model agency.
Yeah.
So that's why I pretty much figured that's what we are gonna do with her, and it'd be a really cool idea. She'd just be when she's done on her downtime, she'd be like concerts, and then somebody like decides to if a villain decides to like show up at her concert, she can stop her concert, or maybe have a concert while beating up this guy. It'd be kind of a cool concept. But
Yeah.
But then with this
I have
concert,
a
we
question.
see, which was the whole point of this entire festival, of at least Eri being here, was that she people want like Deku wanted to get her to smile, and pretty much I don't know sure how this happened or why this happened, but after one big explosion of music, we see Dark Shadow, I guess. Oh no, that's what that is.
That's like a demon that she like pulls off of
No,
herself so
that's
she can
not. Well,
smile.
you're not wrong, but I didn't know what this was, but that dark cloud was the hold that Chisaki had on her.
Yeah.
That's what that was. I was so confused. I was like, why did Tokiyami's shadow decide to go out there to Eri? That was confusing me the entire time.
No, it was kind of obvious to me. She
It
was
wasn't
shutting
obvious
off
to
like
me
her.
because I'm dumb apparently. But
Hey, that's not a nice thing to say.
but okay, cause I saw the image. They had an image on Wiki on her little like on her Wiki page, and the image was her smiling, saying her being freed from Chisaki. I read that and didn't think much of it, but yeah,
Mhm.
that was Chisaki's hold finally letting go of her. She was letting go of that hold that he had on her, and she was able to smile, which by the way was probably the cutest thing in this entire season. Was that smile? It was so
Yeah,
genuine. I wasn't
it was awesome.
I wasn't expecting it to be so adorable, but it was the cutest thing this entire season. I was like,
Millie
wow.
holding her is like an awesome like combo.
Yeah, I mean, Miori was also
It's,
crying too, like a proud father.
yeah, but he's got that purest smile out of the group, so it was nice to see that.
Yeah, but we see her smiling, actually enjoying the show for the first time. But she enjoying herself for the first time she's been here. Uh,
Hmm.
for having that childlike innocence back that she had lost due to Chisaki. And keep in mind, she's 8 years old right now. So, like the fact that she got her childlike innocence back it's a good time. So that's pretty good. It was a pretty good moment for her, and we finally ended her arc for now. So probably come back later. But
So stupid little side question about that. Right around 12:30, I'm gonna say 8th, 12:37, 12:38. Invisible Girl is like glowing, like multicolored. Do you have any idea why?
I think they brought this up, or I only know about this because of the manga. I don't know what the correct answer is. But from what I know about her power during the training that she was doing, where about was coming with a special move. Um, Invisible Girl found out that light goes through her body because she's not uh physically present. She learned that I think she can reflect a light in her throughout her body, which gives her this glowing effect. Apparently, it's supposed to help with the invisibility thing. I think she's supposed to be able to. I think because of it, she can probably make other things invisible. Like she's able to control light.
It's weird though to see it like going through. I guess maybe she's picking up some of the light that's shining from the sky because you can see like some rainbow light shining towards her. But it's a really weird ability for her to have that.
Not really. I mean, when it comes to like the fact that she's able to, reflect the light, she probably just learned how to control it. Because this is now that you bring that up, I didn't even notice until now. But we see for the first time in this entire.
Like, let's just humor me for a second. Like her head still doesn't glow.
Yeah, I know. I think it's her controlling it, or plot hole, whatever you prefer. But for the first time ever in this entire freaking series,
hold somebody not having a head or hands for that matter, or it might just be her clothes that are showing because it's just her clothes.
No, we see her thighs.
Like that.
Now, if you actually look, there's like 12:38. We can see her thighs.
It's her clothes because those are leggings. All the other girls are wearing leggings.
No, because we just look at an invisible girl. I know this is an ability.
She doesn't have hands.
Yeah, I know, but like for a visible girl, I know that this is. I don't know when this is brought up or how I even know this, but it's from the training that she's done, which is why she's able to glow. It's a very weird ability. I'm not gonna lie, but
clothes, because it's anything that would have been exposed would have been her hands and her legs because that's all that's exposed on anybody else. So it's just her clothes that are glowing, but why would they just have her clothes glow? It makes no sense.
I think it's her ability.
Yeah.
It's something to do with, I guess, her ability evolving. I don't know how I know this.
Actually,
so this
earlier in the series, like around 9:36, you can see that she is wearing leggings. So she's wearing the leggings.
Because invisibly not all his physical features can be observed. Read her emotions or whatever, while still explaining quirk allows her to have assumed while still unexplained. This quirk also appears to involve a degree of light manipulation.
Okay.
So that's the reason I know. I found out accidentally through reading her quirk. Okay, I was wondering about that. I just thought it was something to do with her training, but I feel like maybe it has something to do with her training. Because she wasn't doing that before. She was just invisible. So this is the first time we've seen that. So I think it has something to do with her training. Which, by the way, speaking of weird things to bring up, you notice that Shoji, the guy with the 6 arms, all his limbs have fingers on them now, and that was not happening before. I mean, I'm aware of what he's capable of doing, but I don't think he's ever had the other limbs of his body have hands. And this is the first time that this ever been a thing. It's very disturbing, actually. I just thought I'd just bring that up as a dumb little note. But you see Bakugo smiling or just smirking, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Actually, we bring up the whole, I guess, Cyril using his tape as streamers. Actually, you could actually make the argument though at the end of the performance, we don't see the party poppers and everything like that, but Cyril is using his quirk in a very interesting way. He's popping off pieces of tape, I guess, in a projectile fashion here at 1303. His tape is everywhere. This is not Yaoyoro's doing. This is all Sarah at this point. That's weird. She's still
Right.
glowing at the end of the performance. I think it has something to do with light refraction, and also them wanting to let us know that she's there, because there has been a surprising absence of this chick, even though she is invisible.
Yeah.
But I guess throughout the performance too, before the end of it, we see as the tape thing is going on, we see Uraraka tapping tapping random individuals in the audience and making them float as part of the performance and whatnot, which is pretty cool. They managed to utilize almost everybody here, even if they weren't using their quirk. Like Mineta. Mineta got his harem like the only time in the entire series. And Froppy was a part of that harem. Froppy, actually, I think, let me go back to, was Uraraka there too? Or was it just, I know Momo wasn't there. Who was in that harem that he had? Now I'm curious. I need to see who was in this harem that he had. Because they brought up the only reason why Mineta isn't participating is the fact that Ashido promised him a harem.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to know which girls participated in this.
I think all of them. I just think they're not really a harem.
No, that was a harem. Regardless of the distinct definition of what a harem is, that was a harem. That was the closest thing he was going to get to a harem.
That's sad.
What is the thing though? Here's the thing, and I only know this because I've actually watched harem anime. The only real problem that Mineta has, and it's only a problem because it's a character flaw. Most male characters in harem shows, they're perverts like him, but the one thing that distinguishes them from him, is that they're genuinely nice guys. They just have a perversion tendency. Unfortunately for Mineta, he is not a genuinely nice guy. That's his only issue. If he were to just be a genuinely nice dude, he'd probably get more women. But I mean, I think that's the whole point, is that he fails at every attempt he wants to be able to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, he's kind of like a young Master Roshi, basically.
Well, I mean, without the master.
Well, Master Roshi wasn't a master when he was young.
He was still really good. Like, he was like a really talented guy. Okay, so Uraraka was in that harem. Invisible Girl was there too. Ashido and then Froppy was there. It's an interesting thing they put Invisible Girl there. I guess it's one of those things where they said we have to realize that she's there. But the funny thing I thought about this too was, like, I mean, I guess funny and also creepy. It was that Mineta was just had this really creepy, satisfied look on his face.
Uh-huh.
I know you don't like him, but I like him just because of how stupid he is. Like, I know I said this before. I can relate to him, which is the reason I like him. But it's just like, I know it's over the top. It is not necessary for his character to be all about boobies and ass, but we gotta have that character in the series. We gotta have that character. I mean, some people come in the argument, no, we don't. But I mean, yes, we do. This is part of Japanese culture at this point. But we end the festival off, and we essentially see Eri just smiling and talking about how fun and how many explosions, like talking about the festival like a little kid would be, who didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah.
And she was smiling at this entire time, and Deku was just like another one of those, like, Deku back to his crying fit, which is a lot of people don't like about Deku, that he cries a lot. I'm saying, like, just get over it. It's part of his character at this point. It makes him different. But Deku was crying with a smile, like a happy mother. I just thought about his mother when he was crying there, smiling when she was happy. Like, I just thought about his mother this entire thing. But it's interesting to see she's happy and whatnot. I think after that, isn't it the, yeah, it's the beauty pageant. Well, actually, not, before that, we see the other students who were like, who didn't like them, apologize and then run off. First, we found out that not everybody who hated 1A was there. So a lot of the other students in the who did show up, the ones who were genuinely excited for the festival and the performance, say that they're gonna pass on like their feelings to the students. And person 1A just thanked them for that because they wanted to get their whole message that they wanted to do this for them because they felt like they kind of were responsible half and half for a lot of the problems that UA's had in the recent years, the recent year, recent months. Let's be more specific, recent months. But
Yeah.
so that happens, and they're cleaning up, and then like Mineta again is like telling Deku because he was late, he needs to carry all of this stuff and do it in a hurry because they want to get to the beauty pageant. So we're back to Mineta being a creepy pervert, which is part of his character. We're gonna have to accept that. We're gonna have to accept that, Jock.
I'm
But
okay with that one, but like, I'm sort of also okay with him being excited about that because like it brings the audience with him. Do you know what I mean? We're like, oh yeah, that part, and we can all be okay because like I don't know, it's a narrative tool at that point. You know what I mean? Oh, you too can be excited because like this is coming next, and the writers kind of introduced that as the next thing to like look forward to. So
I
I
will also
like
admit,
that part.
I will also admit that we kind of glossed over some of these bits leading up to the pageant, but there were various bits prior to this episode where we're seeing little bits to the beauty pageant. We found out that Nejiri, I think it's her name, Nejiri, the girl with the spiraling energy, she had been
Uh-huh.
trying to win this pageant for like 2 years straight, and she needed to do it this year because she wasn't going to be here next year.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool that essentially she won it this time because the other girl that constantly kept on winning, still convinced it's not a girl, but whatever.
I wasn't sure.
But they kept on calling her her. So I mean, I know that doesn't really mean much, but I mean, no one's
Maybe
ever.
that's just her pronouns, dude.
I know, but at the same time, they haven't said either way. And I think even on the wiki, they refer to her as her and her being female, and they don't say identifies as female, just says female.
Mm.
So
I always kind of thought thought Frieza was female too, and they just didn't get around to like really admitting it.
I
Like,
mean
there's been a lot of
that was a
sexually
huge
ambiguous
like
characters.
fan theory, but I think it was confirmed that Frieza was he.
Yeah, it's confirmed, but I think they want you to wonder.
I don't wonder. I've already seen too many female versions of female Frieza online. I don't want to see that in my anime.
But I
I,
mean, when the series is going, I think they want you to kind of wonder if the character was male or female.
I think I initially thought Frieza was female, and then later on was confirmed to be male. But I mean, that was just growing up and not knowing, because like if I didn't know anime did this type of thing where some characters would just be androgynous. I did not know that until like started watching this show. I was like, oh, okay, so boys can have long hair. Oh, that's a thing, huh? So I didn't I was learning a lot of things about Japanese culture.
Oh, nice. I'm
Um,
glad you had a great cultural experience.
yeah, not as much as I would like to. One day I'll have to go to Japan. Not right now during this crisis. Moving on. Uh, but
We could go to China instead.
definitely not going to China. Moving on. I know you're trying to do. I know you're trying to do, and I'm not gonna say what you want me to say. But yeah, we find out. Apparently, that girl, we're gonna say it's a female until otherwise stated. She was apparently a part of the support course because she showed off a tank with her face on it.
Uh-huh. That
That
wasn't
was
just like hyperbole. I thought they
no.
were
I
just
think
being
she made
silly.
that. No, I think she
Okay.
made that.
I thought
I'm
that was just the like anime being ridiculous.
no. I think she made that.
Good lord.
I think she made that mainly because she came on writing. Now I understand you talk about anime likes to ridiculous things, but I'm gonna go
Mhm.
on as far as saying that because they specified that she was a part of the support course. I think she made that. Um, I got much. I don't got much more to say on that. We see Kirishima and that Steel dude, bump fists again during all this as they're joining the festival. Um, like I said, Nejiri is using her spiraling energy power to help her float. They mentioned that she's like almost like a fairy. Um, Hers wasn't as over the top ridiculous. Well, I guess it was more over the top than like um, dang, I forgot her name. The girl with the big hands. Uh, that could be taken the wrong way, but Sato, I think was her name. Sato, the girl with like could make her hands bigger. Hers is kind of like a little gets flashy. I guess not really. She was just chopping planks. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't think she really intended to win that anyway because she was just forced to be in there. But but after all of that, after the tournament, after like the festival, like they say they're gonna calculate the results for who's gonna win, and we see everybody in the school having fun, obstacle courses. We see Bakugo and Kirishima on one of them. Bakugo with his
Hmm.
crazy eyes and very devious smile, like on his obstacle course. We see a couple of characters getting like a lot of girls getting souvenirs, getting candy and whatnot. And pretty much it comes to a head that we find that Nejiri has won the pageant and she's really happy. She's showing like a genuine smile. Uh, Her friends are happy for her. Toga, not Toga, but well, actually Toga and Sun Eater are pretty happy for her. Because she got a chance to win this before she had to leave. Before she left UA. And then the day comes to an end, and we see a sad faced Eri disappointed like any other little kid that the day is already over. Essentially, right before she has to go back, we find out the Midoriya because there's a scene of Midoriya with the guy with the sugar rush ability in the kitchen with
Hmm.
him. So we find out that was about. Apparently, one of the reasons why he took so long to get to get to the event, which we never did see, we didn't see him go into the store. Did we? I don't know. I feel like there's a plot hole there that we didn't see him go into a grocery store, but I don't know. But we found out that he was getting stuff to make a caramel apple for Eri, and essentially give that to her, and she's smiling, and she's
Hmm.
like she's enjoying the apple, and apparently, and then
Can
we
can we take a moment to appreciate the Cementos drink bottle?
no,
I love that thing. I would legitimately go out of my way to buy whatever liquid just so I could have that drink container.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty awesome. I thought it was like
It
a
looks so
cell phone or.
resentful that it's a. It looks so resentful that it's a drink container. It's like really mad that it ended up life as a container. Whatever the
I
thing.
was gonna gloss over it, but I will admit that for whatever reason, that drink bottle looked really pissed.
It was really mad. It was specifically glaring at.
How dare I be a container for a liquid refreshment?
This is so undignified.
Like, how dare I be used for a liquid refreshment? I don't know why. It's funny.
So mad. I would totally get one of those if they were for sale.
They probably are. You can probably look it online somewhere or find it on Etsy. But
Yeah, I would totally make, or like, I don't know. I want a Christmas ornament, something like that. That's like the greatest.
Christmas ornament. It just
Like, I
Cementos
want
is
a
glaring
Christmas
at you.
ornament.
Cementos is just
No,
glaring at you every time you go by
glaring
the
off
Christmas
to the
tree.
side, like he's humiliated and pissed off that this is his life. Like, I want that.
I mean,
Like,
because I guess it
I
kind of
want to
makes
really
sense though,
get
because like I mean, he's the construction hero. He's the one that makes these
yeah.
gigantic buildings. So it makes sense that he is a bottle, but it is kind of funny that I did notice that on my second
Hmm.
viewing that he definitely looked really resentful down there. And almost a good on my learning to say that probably was Cementos down there. That's probably Cementos is like like can you make him look like he's really pissed off? Like why? I just want that. Like okay, we'll send that back to the factory and we can get that for you. Thank you. Like I don't know why
I
you
don't
want
know.
that.
That
Like
that was like my favorite moment from like the fair part of the pageant. Like when they're showing all those cut scenes and everything. I know they were all supposed to be awesome and everything, but that's definitely the one that got me. Like I wanted to really see. Like I want to own that. I want to buy one somehow or something.
I'm pretty sure you could find it. But
It's really easy to forget all these moments. Like I'm looking through now and pausing, and like I can feel it. Like in the speed of this stuff, like I really miss some like the principal. Did you see that one with the principal like head where you could stick your head in and have your picture taken?
Yeah, I saw that when I was watching it.
That's beautiful. Like that's the greatest thing ever.
And what was Todoroki? Was his head in there? Because I was trying to make sure that's what was happening.
Yeah, Todoroki, and then Ida was the building for some reason, building a face.
I guess speaking of moments, now you just brought this up, and I was gonna gloss over it. I was gonna gloss over this too, but during the dance portion, it's kind of funny that at the very beginning of it, we see Ida dancing next to Midoriya, and he's in rhythm. He's very limber, but then we cut to this moment during the performance when he's doing the robot.
Yes, I saw that.
I'm just like, why is he so stiff?
Ida has no idea how to live his life.
I think he does. He just doesn't care. It's like I'm gonna be this stiff like student president, school principal, like student body president, and you're not gonna tell me otherwise. Honestly, I would not mind a bobblehead of Ito doing a robot. Just so I can put that on my car dashboard.
That would be wonderful.
It'd just be. So you just stop at the stoplight, and somebody just comes up next to you. And you just see this robot little thing just doing a robot on your dashboard. He just look at you with disdain and just move forward. It was like there's so many funny things you could actually make. There's so many funny things you can make out of this thing. That's a Mentos. Liquid bottle kind of gave me some ideas. Dang it, Jock! I blame you. I blame you for anything that comes out of this. But as we go into the end of the episode, we see Eerie Angel in the apple. She's smiling again. Again, another one of those like candid, childlike smiles. Like I'm like it's one of those things where I'm glad that she got her childlike innocence back amongst all the stuff she had to deal with up to this point. Like you wouldn't think it'd be so rewarding to see her smile, but at the same time, it's very rewarding for whatever reason. Like you're at least I'm glad that we went through this entire arc, and this is kind of the main ending crux of it all was the fact that Eerie can smile again, like genuinely. I guess for the first time since she was a kid. Well, a little kid, but essentially, we find out. I think Eraserhead drops the bomb that Eerie might be able to come back at some point. I think he says that. I think so. You should be. Yeah, Razorhead drops the bomb that you might be able to see her again soon, whatever that means. But that means that we won't be seeing this. Will be the last we see of her, so that's a good thing. And we don't know what the time limit on that is though, because
they're pretty casual about not guarding her, considering that she's kind of hunted at that point, isn't she? Like she's still quite a commodity to somebody.
Well, nobody's gonna really be trying to, I guess, interrupt the school festival. Granted, again, we had Gentleman trying to do that exact thing, but he had a reason. Okay, I want to before I start talking about this because that was the end of the episode. Did you watch the preview for the next episode?
Yeah, and I watched there's a little like after episode moment too. We've already been kind of talking about it. Yeah, they do a preview, but like right at the end of the episode before they announce the preview, they extra teaser of content. If you don't watch it, it's not in the next episode or anything. It's just like after a lot of these, they have a little teaser.
Oh, I guess this is the part of the episode I was talking about earlier about La Brava and...
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. That's where it popped. I thought it was at the very beginning of the episode. Oh, speaking of things I want to bring up.
That's like the after credits teaser, and then they have the next episode part after that. They're two separate things.
Okay, well, I guess La Brava isn't that important right now because she's right now just they're attempting to figure out she's brainwashed, and I want to bring up that fact that this show was doing a really good job of making really interesting looking characters, and I like to bring everybody's attention to evidence number 2. We have a gorilla.
He looks like Planet of the Apes.
Whatever. It for whatever reason, the cops in this universe are all animals. At least the important ones. We had that. We had like not Fox McGruff, Well, McGruff, the Hound, in season 2, I think. Was that the season
Mhm.
when Ito went off the chain with Stain? I think that was season 2.
Maybe.
For the reason, this is the second law enforcement officer we've seen, and it's a gorilla in a suit. I just want to point out that for whatever reason, if we don't see any more of these people, I'd be so disappointed because I want to see more of the designs. I'll be sorely disappointed if we don't see any more designs, like even scrap designs. I want to see some more designs for these officers. It seems funny that they decided to use a gorilla man, the most human of all the people that they could use. They use a gorilla man, but yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty funny, and kind of cheeky that they decided to do that. Yeah, we already thought about this. It's quite interesting they decided to have this little scene where DC Gentle might have a chance to become a hero after all. Um, so that
Yeah.
was a pretty cool thing. That, like I said before, I've already brought it up. I already know about one character that is coming back, and I'm not gonna say any more than that. It's part of the information that I do know about, but I don't know if we get a hint of it here. I don't think we do. But yeah, we see that we know everything about Gentle apparently, which is the interesting thing. I said before, yeah, he was very patient with him. He wasn't trying to force anything out of him. Um, he seemed to be more carefree than most of the other officers we've seen, much more than the dog guy. But I guess beside that, what's more important is the is the preview for the next episode. Which I'm gonna sit there and say this much before we talk about this. I was surprised that, and I completely forgot about this portion, which is a part of the stuff that I do know about Endeavor. Um, I completely forgot about it because they kind of already state that he's the number one hero, but apparently they decided that they were going to see a press conference this episode about who's going to be the new number one hero um for like for the world now because All Might's retired, and apparently they wait to do this to like after the festival, but I guess it's even weirder timing. But what I want to bring up is the fact that I was hinting at something that I was catching at the end of the ending scene of the outro. There's a character
Okay.
there. There's a character there that like I thought was really weird that they were showing in the photos. You saw there was a guy with wings, right?
Yeah, I went back and saw that after our last podcast.
Yeah, it was a very weird. It was a very weird thing, and I'm gonna release something that we're gonna find in the next episode anyway, so it's not much of a spoiler. Um,
Hmm.
you remember how a long time ago we were talking about who, and at the time I didn't know this at the time we were discussing this, so this was pure speculation. We didn't know. Who we didn't know, we were talking about the number one hero when All Might was at the time. We knew about the number one hero. We know about the number two. We even know about the number four, but we never knew about who the heck was the number three. Well, he's the number three. I think they're gonna reveal that in the very first couple seconds of the episode. But he is number three. Who is number two now?
Hmm.
So that was who it was. That's all I'm gonna say about him because there's more plot with him involved. But I don't know like how far. I don't even. I'm surprised that they're doing this. They're doing this now, considering that I thought we were gonna end the season off with this episode, or like one episode with not dealing with anything really plot significant.
I think we have like 2 or 3 more episodes left, right?
I guess. I mean, if it is 3 episodes, that if here's the issue. Here's the issue. If it is 3 more
Hmm.
episodes, they really shouldn't be trying to dive into the next arc because there's a lot of information. There's a couple of new things introduced. Uh, it would not do the arc justice if they were to jump into this now. Uh, I don't think it can be covered in 3 episodes. If they do it, I'd be really surprised and also really disappointed.
Oh, weird. No, that might be a teaser for the next season. The We have 21 episodes per season so far because there was this season. Episode 1 of this season is episode 64. So that means there's 63 other episodes in the other the other 3 seasons, which makes them 21 episode seasons. If this is also 21 episodes, then that was our last episode of the season.
Which is
Because
what I
that's the
figured, which
21st
is
episode.
why I'm a little bit confused. I know they did it for the end of season 3 with introducing us to Chisaki.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Now, I'm all for them, diving into this. I guess we're done talking about the episode now. I'm just not speculating on what they're doing here with the anime. But here's the thing. Now, it was fine with Chisaki because, they introduced the new big bad and we were really interested in him. Now, what's
Yeah.
happening here is this is the number one hero arc, and not like the who's gonna be on the it's like the nomination or whatever, like the not like who's gonna be number one. Granted, we already know it's Endeavor. They've already explicitly stated that. What this is for, I
Mhm.
forget. So we'll find out whenever this pops up. But this is like the nominations because they got to nominate the next number one hero to update the billboards because the billboards get updated every year.
Mhm.
So if they're gonna do this, that means that they would have to cover this entire bit, which isn't a lot, I don't think, in one episode to only like to tease the next major threat they gotta deal with.
Yeah, the
If
only thing that I'm noticing here, and the Wikipedia says that there's 25 episodes, but
that's
it
supposed to
also
air,
it's really freaking confusing because Wikipedia is saying that 60 episodes 64 to 87 are the series, and we have 64 to 86 here, which would mean that Japanese Hero Billboard chart next week is the last episode. So whatever they're going to do, they're going to accomplish in one episode.
well, I think looking at this again, I think that they're not nominating; they're revealing who is like, I guess who's number one, number two, number three, and number four now.
So it's just a teaser for the next season.
Because they do tease Hawks, which is what his name is Hawks.
Yeah.
Um, if I figured that was probably what they're gonna do, if they weren't gonna accomplish, Endeavor's little like his arc in this season, which means they're
Okay.
gonna. If this is the final episode, then Endeavor's arc is what we start off with the next season. If we get a new season.
Right.
I'm 50-50 on that because like right now we do get another season. I don't know when they're gonna air it, and on top of that, because of all that's happening right now in the world, Japan
Mhm.
is having a lot of people work from home. I don't know what that means for animators. I feel like they could easily do the animation at home, but I don't know. Like what entails in making anime episodes because it takes a while.
Mhm.
So, if we do get a season 5, which is highly possible. Not saying there isn't, but I'm not 100% certain because animes in this day and age they're going by the seasonal schedule. There's a high possibility that
Mhm.
the studio thinks that we're not making enough money. Let's cut this now, type of thing.
Right.
So I hope it doesn't do that because the show's really popular and so is the manga. But yeah, if they are doing this, that means they're gonna probably cover the billboard thing this next episode because I don't
Yeah.
think there's a lot to do with that arc in quotation marks because not a lot happens other than revealing who's who. Um, and I don't even know if that's really a freaking arc. Let me just look that up. Hero billboard because I don't even know that's really an arc. I feel like that's something the fans came up with. See, without spoiling anything, I'm just gonna look at. It doesn't appear to be. So I think this is an arc. This is just updating what's happening in the world. More world building.
Right.
Okay, this is apparently what we're in right now is the pro hero arc. So I think they're teasing the Pro Hero arc this time around. So yeah, my best guess is that they're gonna tease Hawks, saying that this is the hero that we've been missing. He's been off somewhere doing something we don't know what he's been doing. He also looks very seedy. Just gonna point that out right now. He looks very smug.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things where like, well, we'll find out what he's like if we find out what he's like next episode. We probably won't. Um, Considering we see I'm not all my, since we see Endeavor walk out into the field, onto the to the stage, then we see an image of Hawk somewhere on that stage as well. So, but yeah, they have to update the Pro Hero boards because apparently that's a thing that we didn't know about until now. There's a lot
I'm
of
trying
things.
to find out if I can.
Hmm?
I'm trying to see if there's anything about like an official release date or anything. It looks like there's not
They probably
for
won't reveal
season
any of that
5.
until like next episode. So I wouldn't even count on. I wouldn't even count on them.
Yeah.
Let me look at something. I just want to see because I know how many arcs they cover. Um, so it'd be nice to know where they are, like how many world locations, story arcs. See here, the USJ arc, the UA Sports Festival arc, the versus Stain, that was an arc in itself. We already know about that. The Forest Training
Yeah.
was an arc. So the USJ and then UA was covered in first season. And then Hero Killer and the Forest Training was covered in the second season. And we just went through the Hideout raid and then the provisional arc. So yeah, there was only 2 arcs covered per season. And considering that the
Mhm.
festival was an arc, this is gonna be the end of it.
Everything I'm seeing is saying that it's going to happen, but it doesn't look like any of it's anything I can believe.
Since we had like a filler episode at the very beginning of this is probably what they're gonna do. If there is gonna be more episodes, we're definitely not gonna get any story.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. If they're talking about there's gonna be more episodes past this one, because there's no way they could cramp. No, I'm gonna say no way, but they would have to speed up so much stuff. Because there is a fight that happens, and I don't know if it would be in their best interest to do
Maybe the
that.
whole tournament will only take like 42 minutes or something.
It's not a
And then
tournament.
how
That's
could
just a
they pass
billboard thing. They're just gonna reveal who's who.
if the whole tournament takes only 42 minutes, and how could they have more than one episode about it?
Well, it's not a tournament. It's just like them revealing who's who.
You missed the joke.
Moving on.
The
According to
joke
this,
was
for whatever
Dragon Ball
reason,
Super Tournament of Power that was like 40 episodes long.
yeah, I'm aware. I mean, I'm aware now you said
Okay.
that. Explaining jokes is a
Oh
horrible
my
idea,
god.
Jock. But according to Wikipedia, the first season was 13, and then everything beyond that is 25.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, speaking of else, I guess before we go off here, what I'm noticing about like the end dates and the premieres, season 1 aired within 1 year, and then because it ended on 2016 of June, it got announced season 2 was happening next year in April, and then it ended in September of that year, and then season 3 didn't premiere till next year at April, and then ended in September of that year as well.
Hmm.
Then we got news that because of what was happening or whatever was going on there, that it was probably because of program change, but that season 4 wasn't going to air till October of last year. So
Yeah.
my prediction is that more than likely it's going to end this month or it's going to end in April. But let me go to season 4. How many episodes have they shown that we got at this point? Episode. Okay, so if this is correct, we got 2 more episodes left. the Japanese Billboard arc, and then whatever follows that.
Oh, it looks like there's plenty of content though, even if because the manga's not done, right?
No, I mean the manga is very far, very. I'm not gonna say far, but look, I'm gonna look up like what arc they're at just to know what the name of the arc is. Because usually I find that out, and I'm not asking for it, but I usually find out about it. I
Mm,
know they're dealing with something with. I know they're dealing with like the last thing I know they were dealing with for sure. Was some like team battle they were doing at the school.
yeah.
But that was about it that I was aware, and I actually stopped reading after a certain point. Mainly because I got busy with something else, and um, I think I wanted to wait to see what was gonna happen with the anime.
Hmm.
See here, this isn't good. Why? And you say you give me story arcs, and then you storylines. You're not giving me anything. Are you kidding me right now? The Wikipedia isn't giving me anything. I don't even know where they are right now. Wait a minute, let me look this up. Pro Hero Arc. I want to know where the heck we are. I don't even know where I'm supposed to get it. I know I've seen it before. I just don't know where. It's gonna bug me if I can figure out. Come on. I think your son's up, which is probably a good time to end this podcast.
He's been crying for 25 minutes. Jesse was supposed to last week when I had to stop and go take care of him. Jesse told me to let her wake up and take care of him, but he's been literally crying for 25 minutes now. I've been watching the clock. Like
Okay.
bloody murder. It's making it to your podcast. He's been crying for 25 minutes.
Okay. Before we end this off here, just quickly do this because now I finally got the arc or the sagas that were apparently they're calling them. That we had the UA saga, UA Beginnings. It was
Mm-hmm.
that had the entrance exam in it, the Quirk apprehension test, the battle trial, which this apparently this series has a lot of arcs. I didn't know what they were called. Okay, so I'm learning this now. The battle trial arc, which is what ended the UA beginning saga. Then we have the that's weird. Wait a minute. No, that was apparently whatever. That was still the US beginning saga. Where the USJ arc where they had the fight with Nomu, the UA Sports Festival. Then we had the versus Hero Killers arc, the final exam arc, the force training arc. Then we have the hideout raid, which we just saw earlier last month. Um, and then okay, so the hideout raid was the end of the USJ beginnings because the next one is the rise of the villain saga, which is we had the provisional hero arc license, the hero license. Then we had the Shi Hasaki arc, which is what they called that one overhaul. Then we had the remedial
Yeah.
course, which is what Todoroki and Bakugo were going through. Apparently that ended. Apparently, I guess I don't even know what happened. They only had 3 episodes. Okay. Um, we had the UA festival. We just saw that, and then the
Mm-hmm.
Pro Hero arc is what's next. Not gonna reveal anything, but we had 1 episode already for that one, and there are how many chapters? 10 of them. So there's a lot of content in the Pro Hero arc. And the next
Mm-hmm.
one, just for clarification, the next one after this one is called the Joint Training. That's where I stopped.
Right.
And beyond that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ew, good gracious. Okay, there's like 4 arcs beyond that. So yeah, they're pretty far.
Yeah, so they can have a whole nother season and still have a couple arcs left over.
Yeah,
But I really
let's.
should go.
Yeah,
I
here's
really
hoping.
should go. This.
You can go
He's
do
like
that.
really screaming.
You can go. I'll just end this. I'll end this here. Don't worry. All
Okay,
right. Talk to you
sorry,
later.
dude. Take care.
Mhm.
Bye.
And with that, guys, I'm gonna have to end this off here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for the next episode, whenever that is aired. this pandemic has been causing a lot of problems. I'm going to try my best to make sure that content, well, this podcast is going, and then whatever happens beyond that, we're looking at the possibilities of other shows to review after My Hero is done for the season. Keep tuned. Keep tuned for that, and also not sure you're gonna get this because I am very behind on releasing podcasts on my channel. So whenever you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.